All right.
Thanks so much, Madam General Evaluator. Fellow members, glad to see you all today. Let's set the stage for evaluation team 2. First, in terms of the 3 evaluators, Leo will go first. He is going to focus on Gopu's delivery. Ed will go second. He's going to focus on Gopu's content. And then I'll close, focusing on overall feedback that Gopu asked for. Gopu will have 1 minute to respond. And then for the audience feedback, I'm going to break our protocol. I'm actually going to call on some members who have not spoken today, so I know who those people are.
Okay.
Mark, I want to check, did you get the timing I asked you for? I just chatted that to you. Could you confirm that, please? Mark Caron.
Looks like he's looking at his screen.
Yeah, Keith.
Okay, we're set.
What, I don't understand what you want. I've timed
So
Gopu.
for Gopu, please show 30, 45, and 1 minute. For the audience feedback, please show 1, 1:30, and 2. Okay, we're set?
Yeah.
All right, great. Thanks, Mark. All right, so Leo, please start.
All right, thank you very much, Keith, and thank you very much, Gopu. You certainly have my vote, and I'm excited for you for taking on the challenge of growth director for the district. So, to go to my comments, I'm looking at the delivery. Your eye contact was great. And I felt was great with the screen, or at least it felt like you were connecting with me with your eyes. So that went really well. I did notice there was a reflection off your glasses from either, I believe it was a computer screen. That was a distraction, and I'm not sure if putting light behind your computer or something will change that. But there's something, you did have a square light within your glass, so that's something to look forward to fix. As far as the gestures, facial expressions, and movement, I felt that when you were looking solidly at the screen, that things were the best for me in getting the message. The hand gestures, I felt like things would fly in and out of the screen, so that really didn't come across as well. I think just for me, it was just coming straight to the screen. And then when you stood up and stood back to give your final delivery, I felt more distant from you as a speaker. So I personally would prefer it straight up front sitting, but you may look at other feedback from other evaluators there. And then on your vocal delivery, your pace was fantastic. I was able to follow along and get connected with what you were saying. One of the challenges that I felt was that in your messaging, I really liked the way that you responded back with repeating the question and then just kind of phrasing what your answer was going to be. One of the things that I would look for is look for more alliteration in your response. For instance, in your first response to the first question, to simplify it, you could put, support, strengthen, and sustain. Using that type of verbiage to give us where you were going would be helpful, because at the end of your response, I missed the phrasing of the question that you used. So then also, like on the second one, there was, what can we do? I think something simple like appeal, attract, and achieve, is something that we can, as we're sitting and listening, we can just write that down and we get it. And we, as someone who's voting for a potential position for you, I think if I can say, well, Gopu's going to do this, this, and this, or this is his thoughts, that would really help me a lot. So I think using some alliteration and maybe using that as a focal point to respond to the questions that you get. So I'm not sure where I'm at with my timing here, but I'm going to close out with that. I just really enjoyed it. I'm really excited for you. I think that you're going to make a great club growth director. So, looking forward to it.
All right. Thank you, Leo. Ed, go ahead.
Excuse me, can you guys see me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So make sure I'm on your screen to see your timings.
Good morning, Saturday Morning Live.
If we have any guests, and especially Gopu, thank you for that speech. My task this morning was to look at the content. I'm going to title this evaluation Practice, Practice, Practice. We'll get to some more of that in a little bit. Gopu, as a candidate for Club Growth Director, you are a salesperson. You are selling Gopu Shrestha. You know him better than anybody else, but in sales, you need to really grab us up front. What are you selling? What's this about? And for that, you need more specifics than I found throughout your speech. Your first point of sale is your smile. You have the most magnificent, happy smile. So when you get on camera, you need to force yourself to be thinking, I'm supposed to be smiling. Because before we got into the presentation and you were engaged and you were smiling, you looked scared to death. And that's not a good sales technique. You said you're going to help your team to execute with confidence. Excellent point. Beautiful soundbite. Once more, how are you going to do this? I concur with Leo. Your pace was excellent throughout. You had another great line that you said, things always change. We must adapt to change to live our lives. Beautiful. I can hang my hat on that. But what adaptations are you going to lead us through to help us with change? When you're talking about changes, you said, we are here to help. Who's we exactly? Either define that or drop it all together. Don't be ashamed to be self-centered. I'm here to help, and this is what I'm going to do. You are selling you. You had an excellent point, really relatable point when you talked about being a father of 2 millennials. I thought in answering that question, you did a really good job. Really made yourself relatable and defined some of the characteristics of millennials. But throughout your question and answer period, you seemed prepared, you had good pace, you had some points you wanted to make, but you belabored the points. You really went on and on. This needs to become more concise. 2 minutes to answer somebody's question, 2 minutes to present yourself as in a general summary. It's going to fly by fast. You really need to get out there and practice, practice, practice. Control those gestures, add some more meat in the middle of that sandwich, and Gopu, you'll be elected. Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you so much, Ed. Gopu, my friend. So for the audience, Gopu asked me to look at areas in terms of overall, how I felt about him as a candidate, what his main message was in his 2-minute speech, and just basically my gut reaction, how I was feeling as a voter about Gopu. Gopu, I want to give you super califragilisticexpialidocious praise for how you have changed the cadence of your pitch and tone and speaking rate. I can tell you've grown from your year 1 as a candidate for Club Growth Director to this year 2. I know you've been working on that. So that is excellent. You handled that quite well. I mentioned his feedback as well. But I just want to be sure you walk away knowing you've done excellent practice with that. Continue with the rate and the pace of how you respond to questions and how you give your campaign speech, your 2-minute speech. And focusing on areas to make sure you have no syllogisms as you move forward as a candidate. Let me remind you of something, Gopu. So as you know, you're one of 3 candidates for Club Growth Director. You bring experience that the other candidates don't. You are a District 6, the full District 6 Area Director of the Year. You are a President's Distinguished Division Director. That is experience you want to bring into your responses, and you want to bring that into your campaign speech. So it was counting your I statements versus your we and us. That's my impression of a candidate. So you had a good balance. Weren't too heavy on the I statements. You had a lot of you and we statements. What I want to see you work on to build on what Ed mentioned, practice, practice, practice. When you practice, have someone count how many we and you statements you have. And what I want you to talk about is when I was area director, when I was division director, this is how we brought the area, how we brought the division to distinguish. There are elements in that, how you led in those roles, that you can bring to club growth director. That's what people need to see in a district leader. So Ed talked about sales and how the sales, and that's something you sell. You sell your experience, but you talk about in we and you more than I. So there's something to keep in mind. You began that today. I want to hear more of that. I want to give you a pro tip. So the question of millennials, yes, you did answer that well. Keep in mind, though, part of our target audience for Toastmasters is Generation Z. Generation Z was born in 1994. So they are now 18 to 25-year-olds, and that's an audience too. That will put you a step ahead of other candidates. You say, yeah, I want to reach out to millennials, but I also want to reach out to Generation Z, because that's some words that you don't hear too often from candidates. So something to keep in mind. I loved your smile, but as Ed mentioned, I want to bring it home for those 2 minutes. Remember, you're going to be clapped down. So you want to practice 2-minute response, 2-minute campaign speech. Practice that, because I don't want you to get clapped down. That builds your street cred. You're going to be great as a candidate in year 2. Looking forward to see you excel during the business meeting on May 2nd. Now, Gopu, you have 1 minute to respond to our feedback.
Thank you, balloters, and my team who are helping me to do this. Yes, I am really thrived to serve the organization where I learned all this skill set. This is time to give. So I am working hard since 2 years to make this happen. Again, I have only 6 minutes plus 2 minutes to explain. I don't know what would be the situation. So I am appealing all of you that who I am, 6 minutes might not determine my strength. So help me out to serve Toastmaster as whole, as a voluntary, because this is time to give and your contribution will make a difference. Second thing, I am representing SML Saturday Morning Live. I want to register a next generation district director in this club as a quality club. That's what I was trying to mention, quality club, because this club is the only club which is practicing the best quality club working for members. So I am representing you. Please help me. Definitely I will do practice. Thank you.
All right, thanks so much, Gopu. I want to call on some members who have not spoken today to provide feedback to Gopu. I want to begin with Anna, and if you would share your thoughts.
Thank you, Keith, and thank you, Gopu, for for your campaign practice here today. I was really inspired by what you said about the need to have quality meetings and really support the members so that they will want to continue in Toastmasters. And I like the thing you said about change also. So I think if you really find the things that are inspiring about what your campaign is, I really focus on those. I like how Edward had wanted you to really have a sales going on. So I felt like at the beginning and the end, or especially the end, you pretty much were saying, my name is Gopu, vote for Gopu. Instead, I would really like to see something about, I'm here to help you have quality meetings and retain your members. And that's what it's all about, is the member. But thank you so much. And I'm really rooting for you too.
Yeah. Thank you, Anna. Frank, would you share some feedback, please?
Yes, I thought it was, Gopu's appearance was very good because he had a tan background and a dark suit and a white shirt, and that made him stand out in front of the camera. I agree with Leo that when he stood up and stood back for speaking, that he did seem distant. So because this is going to be a video district event, I think it's good that you're practicing now, and you've got a good setup there. You were clear, so that's working well for you.
Okay, thank you, Frank. Mary, would you share some feedback, please? Is Mary unmuted? Jamie, is Mary unmuted?
I'm
All
having some issues getting her unmuted. It's not actually
Okay.
going.
All right, Steve, would you share some feedback? I know you asked a question, but would you share some feedback?
Yes, I will. I'm doing this by my phone. Hopefully you can hear this okay. Gopu, I think it would be, well, overall, I do commend you for stepping up and considering to dedicate yourself to this kind of a role. I think it would be useful to have about 3 specific stories where your involvement made a difference. And you wouldn't need to incorporate those, but having those stories and being able to condensing them down to about 30 seconds, really brief stories where you made a difference in something that's relevant to the position you're pursuing. That's my recommendation there, to add in something like that.
Great. Thanks so much, Steve. But to wrap up, thank you everyone for that feedback for Gopu. Let's help him out, as he mentioned, 3 weeks from today is election day. So let's give him a lot of practice, practice, practice. Back to you, Madam General Evaluator.